Okay, let's get back to the top story. News comes first here on Nigeria's news leader, Channels Television. The country's Supreme Court has declared a former Kaduna State Governor, Ahmed Markafi, as the authentic national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, or the PDP. The judgment has finally laid to rest the long-drawn internal crisis rocking the country's biggest opposition party. The court had earlier overruled the preliminary objection to the appeal by the Markafi-led caretaker committee of the People's Democratic Party. We have more details and analysis of what has happened and what the Supreme Court decision will mean for the People's Democratic Party moving forward. And of course, all that will be part of the conversation until the political team gets on air, 7 p.m. local time tonight. You don't want to miss that, this landmark decision by the Supreme Court and what it means moving forward. Let's get back into the markets. I love the markets as always. The stock market yesterday kept the bullish run for the second day. We're still a little bit gentle, not as a runaway as it had it between April, May and June. So this is a brand new month. Rotimi Fakaijo from Enterprise Stockbrokers is raising the curtain for today's trading day as we have our opening bell. Good morning. Thanks for coming through.
Good morning, Bolton.
A very simple question. Rotimi, what's driving this current market week?
Well, it's the expectation of the Q2 results. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course I can hear you. Said you're talking about the second quarter earnings in terms of outlook. You think investors and traders are optimistic that the second quarter numbers will be a mirror of the first quarter? Rotimi, if you can hear me, I was asking the question, if investors and traders think that the second quarter earnings will be a mirror of what we saw in the first quarter of the year. Okay, I guess we... Rotimi, please go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, a little bit of a patchy network there. Sorry about that, Rotimi. Let's get back to the market. Of course, we skipped this earlier. The oil and gas segment of the market was part of the rally or the comeback that we saw on Tuesday, again because Owando finished on the green side of the counters, 4.35% for that energy retailer. 3.443 million ordinary shares of Owando Nigeria PLC was traded on Tuesday. Of course, don't forget today is the public hearing of the Senate Committee investigating the Ministry of Petroleum Resources concessioning of the Port Harcourt refinery to Agip ENI and Owando Nigeria. So all of them, as we speak, should be at the National Assembly before that committee explaining with the Minister of Petroleum Resources how that decision was agreed on. You've seen a bit of that in the news, and we're following that very closely today. Owando is that company, part of that conversation, and the public hearing taking place today in Abuja at the National Assembly. The rest of the big seven were largely unchanged when the market finished off. Of course, at the bottom of the table, Total lost 2.26%, less than 500,000 shares, 259.99. Okay, let's get back to what's in the headlines this morning. Of course, the Nigeria's finance minister, that's now been clarified for us, quoted by Reuters news agency yesterday, saying Nigerians cannot borrow anymore. You heard a few minutes ago from Bismarck Rawane, who is the chief executive officer at Financial Derivatives, that the finance minister was actually quoted out of context, saying that Nigeria, of course, can borrow, but of course, domestic revenue resource is a lot more better than borrowing from outside. Nigeria has about 3.5 billion or $7.5 billion funding gap for the 2017 budget. And of course, when we return tomorrow, it's going to be business as usual. But of course, the top of the hour in a couple of minutes is news. And of course, at the top of that is the Supreme Court decision to put in the Markafi-led committee of the PDP. Markafi is now the authentic chairman of the People's Democratic Party. That's in the news, and that's what you're going to see next on the program, on the channel. Do have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.